Welcome back to Face the State on this Sunday morning. Today marks 50 days since the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos, and with us today is one of her estranged husband's closest advisors, one of his attorneys, Rich Rochlin. Mr. Rochlin, thank you for being on the program with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So what is your status and relationship with Mr. Dulos?
So I have an appearance in the divorce case, which is pending in Stanford before Judge Heller. And I worked a little bit behind the scenes assisting Norm Pattis in the criminal and the bond matter, but my primary role is the divorce case.
I want to ask you just what's your gut feeling on this, because a lot of people are wondering, nothing's been found in terms of a body. Do you believe that Jennifer Dulos is alive or dead?
I have no opinion in that regard. I haven't looked at any of the evidence other than what the police have alleged. I've read the warrant. We're not privy to any other information beyond what the public's been privy to. Norm's team is waiting for the discovery to come in, basically what the police have. But up until this point, we just have the warrant and what our client has told us, which obviously we can't share. But I have no knowledge of whether she's alive or dead.
You talk with Fotis Dulos quite frequently. What is his daily life like?
Well, he's very isolated, obviously. There's an order in place he can't contact his children. There's an order in place he can't contact his girlfriend. And he's basically living alone in a very large home, trying to keep his business afloat. There's a civil lawsuit pending against his business and him individually. He's got 2 homes, one in Farmington that's listed for sale, that's completed. He's trying to get sold. He's got a house that's about to be finished in New Canaan. He's trying to get that sold, so he's trying to keep his business running amidst all of this negative publicity.
Now, he can't reach out to the children, but have they tried to reach out to him? Do you know?
I believe not. No, and that's something certainly we're going to work on in the court down in Stanford. But for now, he is under court order not to have any contact.
Is he watching the news coverage?
He does.
And what is his opinion of it?
Well, he maintains his innocence. He wants to have his story told. I think he couldn't believe the level of coverage that this has received. He's sad, right? He wants to see his kids. He's concerned about the well-being of his wife and the mother of his children. He's sad that a relationship that he had with Michelle was abruptly ended, and he can't have any contact with her. So he's trying to keep his spirits up, but he's going through a lot.
There are people who look at this case and say, if he's innocent, why was he in the North End with these bags, the North End of Hartford, 30 bags?
Well, that's not really my role. I'm in a divorce case, but I can tell you this, that just as a lawyer, the police make allegations, and allegations have to be made on the basis of probable cause, which is the lowest standard we have in the law. So we haven't seen the videos. We haven't. All we have is the arrest warrant, and so that evidence hasn't been put to the test in a court. And so those are allegations. This system provides a presumption of innocence, and I would ask people to keep an open mind about that, even though perhaps their instinct would be not to. He should be afforded that opportunity to be heard and given that presumption that our republic provides for him.
Are you saying it's possible it may not be him in those videos?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the police have made an allegation, and we certainly, as an individual and as a lawyer, support the men and women in blue, but at the same time, that evidence has to be tested in a court of law and be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, and we haven't seen any of it yet.
What kind of feedback is he getting from the public in terms of maybe letters, calls, mail?
He's getting some negative, some really awful emails, and certainly when he goes out, the stink eye from people record him. But generally, they're leaving him alone. But he does get some bad emails and those types of things that are, really borderline threatening.
Borderline threatening. Any serious threats that you know of?
No, not serious threats, but things that are just like awful. Basically, some people are writing things that are starting to skirt around a threat, but basically talking about things that might happen to him if he were incarcerated.
Does he have any friends or supporters in this? Because we don't really hear from them.
Well, he does. So he had his niece was in town for a week, and then two of his best friends each came for the last 2 weeks. They came from Greece, childhood friends, that people that he's known his whole life came to stay with him. Some of his former employees that have moved on to other places, I see them there frequently. So he has supporters. The supporters believe in him and are trying to give him support, spend a week with him, and they go back to their own lives. They
were getting divorced, but does he show any feelings that he misses his ex-wife, or is hoping she's found alive? Or
yeah, I mean, I can't get into what specifically he says, but I know that he certainly has expressed concern about his children, and I would say that he would want his. The mother of his children to be okay.
You've been out in public with him. What is it like? What do people say to him?
Well, I've been out in public with him, sort of just generally running an errand or something like that, just because I was transporting him. People don't say anything really, but you get the looks, everyone has their camera out, everyone's Facebook living, even reporters follow us, put drones in the air. It has died down, but nobody has confronted us or. Other than at court, sometimes people yell things from the crowd, but other than that, it's been okay out in public.
And how closely are you working with Mr. Pattis in this case?
Norm, I speak with him frequently. We text frequently. Norm is away for the month, but we're in touch all of the time. Norm has an appearance in the family case as well, so we coordinate in that regard. We look at the legal team as a sort of a holistic team that's looking at all of these various issues, and so we have to be in touch daily, if not every other day.
What is next with the divorce case?
Well, so we have a few motions that have been filed, and the other side has filed some motions. The main motion that we've filed is a motion to stay the proceedings, meaning to sort of put them on hold. And the legal reasoning behind that is that right now the whereabouts of the plaintiff in the case, Ms. Dulos, are unknown, and therefore we can't have a case if there are not two parties at the table. So we've asked the judge to put everything on hold until we know more. Ultimately, it may result in a dismissal of the case. There's also motions that Norm has filed relating to the disqualification of counsel and the unsealing of a custody report to be used in the defense of Mr. Dulos in the criminal matter.
Gloria Farber is 85 years old now. Is she the right choice to be raising the children?
We believe that the children are certainly safe there now, but we believe that my client's position is that he is a fine custodian and he should have contact with his children. It may take some time to sort of transition to that, but that he's able to be their parent and keep them safe and love them, and like he did every day up until Jennifer relocated the children to New York unexpectedly in 2017.
Rich Rochlin, he is the attorney for Fotis Dulos. We thank you for being on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.